Ta-da! It is Friday, isn't it? I better look. 20th of June. So, I'm the only one here. Hi. Welcome to the Silverhairstacker show, where nobody is here but me and Robin. What's up, Robin? Wake up. Man, I've been awake for a long time. Yeah, it's kind of weird. The dogs roll around on the bed and wake me up. So a lot of times I just can't go back to sleep. So I got up at 4. Oh well, I went to bed early, so 9 to 4. That's still what, 7 hours, and that's enough. Don't want to miss out on the rest of my life because I'm sleeping through it. Do you ever think that how much of your life you're not participating in because you're asleep? Yeah, we can sleep when we're dead. Morning, Phil. Morning, Mike. Larry. Excuse me. Detroit, Michigan. All right. Well, be careful on your travels. Lag still in bed. Morning, Mary. How are you? Gotta love Mary. I watched your podcast with slipped my mind. Oh God, what's her name? Dang it, dolphins. Dolphins and whales and yeah, Kat. I watched your show with Kat. She's for years. There's Tom. Hi, Tom.
Good morning.
And you're eating as usual.
Yep.
Got to get your little brekkie in.
It's a jelly belly.
A jelly belly.
Yeah.
The breakfast of champions.
Absolutely.
So what happened to the you were going to lose some weight at the beginning of the year?
I'm slowly losing some.
You're still kind of working at it?
Yeah.
I need to get inspired. I need to clear off this treadmill and get back on it. I need to
be secluded on a damn island where my food's delivered once a day. That's what I need. One morning they delivered it the south end of the island. The next day they delivered it the north end of the island. So you have to make your way back and forth every day.
Yeah, my problem is I get into the afternoons and I gotta have a snack or something, you know.
Good morning, Lag.
Some cheese and crackers or something. Sue needs the beach.
Amen, sister.
Yeah. You're going to be attending a baby shower in Sterling Heights outside of Detroit. Gotta love those babies. We need a new baby in our family. Jeez. Haven't been around a baby in, 30 years.
Well, let's see. Well, about August the 10th, you'll have a new nephew. How about that? Just don't forget him in your will.
Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty jealous. But, I don't know. Maybe it'll happen eventually. I'm thinking maybe Gage can marry somebody that's already got like 5 kids, and I'll just have an instant bunch of grandkids.
Well, my matching service will be online in another month, so we'll start soliciting clients. So maybe I can find you a potential granddaughter.
How did you lose 8 pounds in 10 days, Mike? Did you get sick or something? Mary says grandbabies are the best. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to our first.
Hook me up. Okay.
Let's see. I already know. Let's see. And this has got 2 daughters. Nikki's got a couple of daughters.
Anissa has 3 daughters.
Well, she's got 2. She's got 2 married age.
No, she's got 1 marriage age.
I thought she had 2 older daughters and a son by the first.
Oh yeah. Never mind. You're right. I'm wrong.
And
the first time that ever happened.
Yeah, that's right. And Craig's got a couple of daughters. You got a son. Scott's got a son. I got a son. It's gonna be like the eBay royal family. We're just gonna marry all these dynasties together.
Yeah. You put your eBay store on vacation while I don't. I just put the shipping time way out. I don't put it on. Well, yeah, I put it on time away mode. I guess that's. I don't shut it off is what I don't do. I don't get near as many sales, but I still get sales. So this morning I put a 15% sale on clothes and something else. I kind of like putting the sales on categories because some categories I don't want sales on. Like there's no reason to put the electric plugs on sale. They're going to sell no matter what. Yeah, I need to get rid of some of these shoes and shirts and stuff like that. So I went to the Lutherans yesterday and I bought like 8 new pairs of boots and shoes.
Dang.
And they're already listed. How about that?
Well, that's the way to do it. When you bring it in, it's got to be listed before you go to bed.
Yeah, but that auction, when you buy 3 classrooms full of stuff, you can't.
That's different, Todrick.
You can't get it all listed in one day.
It's all those. You go out and bring 3 things home. That's what starts piling up.
The things I have that pile up are stuff I gotta test and clean and tweak. Right. And I have so much of that.
Like telescopes. You thought I was going to say hand dryers, didn't you?
No, I didn't think you were going to say telescopes. I thought you were going to say microscopes.
Microscopes, whatever.
They're a little different.
Yeah, they are.
They both magnify those, so I got your point.
Mike, if I could...
I'm running out of room, Lag.
If I could game 18 hours a day, I would lose weight because I get so involved in what I'm doing, time just zaps by, and I don't eat.
You don't eat when you're gaming?
No,
Hmm.
you'll lose control and destroy your crops. So, but seriously, um, I don't eat, and I don't drink, and that's what's bad. I should keep a bottle of water on my desk.
Yeah, you don't want to get dehydrated.
But
So yeah, Lutherans they're crazy over there. They got high prices on some things that I would like to have, and I'm like, you're never going to get that for that. I'm the only one who'll buy that kind of stuff. But whatever.
like I do have one, but it's crap. It's called Bento Box Gaming.
There are some other resellers that go to the Lutherans, but they buy things and then they put on a yard sale.
Right.
And they make a little bit doing that. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I don't think any of them list stuff on eBay. There's one guy that comes in and all he does is books. And books are cheap at the Lutherans, but I can't. They don't ever. They got tons and tons of books, but nothing that would resell very well. So I don't even look at their books.
Well, I've been in Goodwill, and there'll be like 3 people scanning books, and they're not together. It's not like it's a team. It's 3 individual sellers. Maybe one of them will get something that the other ones are not interested in selling. Like this lady was in there, and she had all these big books, big coffee table books, and she had a buggy full of them. I mean, those things must be 18 by 24 inches, and maybe she uses them. Maybe she's what do you call it when you set up a house for when you're selling it, but you've already moved out of it, and they bring furniture in? Maybe she uses it for like that.
Yeah.
I bet like I said, you'll see a passel of them in there. And I talked to the lady one time. She and this other lady own a used bookstore that's next to the Food Line, and the Goodwill is on the other side. And I asked her if they scanned their books, and she said, "Oh yeah." She said they have about 25,000 books listed on Amazon, and they sell about 10% of them each month. But some of them are the ones that they make their money off of the shipping. But what do the that's a good question, Lag. Todd, what do the Lutherans do with the stuff that doesn't sell?
They will take and try to donate some of it to like homeless shelters and stuff like that. They have so much stuff that is just not worth anything. And Cut out the homeless. They the stuff that they get rid of that they can't sell, it's just not worth it. Not worth anything. They've got speaking of worthless homeless types. Hi,
Sorry
Jake.
for the dog barking in the background. I'm in one of the tenant units. We're doing preventative maintenance on the central air.
Okay. So yeah, we're talking about the what the Lutherans can't sell. What do they do with it?
Do you know what they do?
A lot of it has been there for years.
Uh,
I bet a third of what they have in there has been there for at least a year.
wow.
So, and they get so much housewares, glass, and it's not anything fancy, you know, it's just like, here's a set of tumblers. Anybody want to buy it for a quarter a piece? No. No, nobody
Yeah.
wants to buy that.
Right.
Or here's some
Do they run sales like saying is do they like say, okay, today everything is half off of whatever the price was, or if it's a certain color sticker?
every once in a while. About 4 or 5 times a year they run a bag sale on clothes, that type of thing.
Yeah, oh, that's good. Okay.
They sell you a bag for $12 and you can stuff as many shirts and pants and, you know, all this
Yeah.
soft clothing stuff.
See, you know, maybe I'm not the smartest person, but I would think places like Goodwill that have, you know, 2/3 of their store is clothing that sits there. About once a month, we're going to have everything's a dollar sale or everything's a 50-cent sale just to blow that crap out of there and get fresh.
Well, they do. I mean, they do. They have the
They don't do
color.
around here.
Goodwill has a color thing.
Not around here. They don't.
Really?
Yeah.
Certain colors are half off. Certain days of the week.
No, they don't do.
Pot of gold.
Old people get 25% off on Tuesdays. That's the only thing they run. Like I said, now we have a value city, not a value city. Is it a value city? Anyway, I think it's value city, value thrift, or something like that. Value village. And
you mean to tell me you've never been there?
I've been there.
I think it's what it sounds like.
They used to have a really good one over on Independence Boulevard, and they closed it down because the rent got too high, and now the building is just sitting empty because the people thought they thought because Independence Boulevard became an expressway, because it throws a lot of traffic, that they were going to be able to bump up the rent. Well, anybody that's passing through that section, they're on the expressway going out of town. They're not getting off they're not getting off to go to a thrift store. Maybe on Saturdays they'll come back into it. So anyway, it was the best thrift store in town.
I got
because
you.
it was on the edge between upper income and upper lower class. So they always had good stuff in there. And but anyway, the Value Village, they have the dots on everything.
Damn.
Do you ever get any good when you're doing clean outs, or do you do clean outs? Do you ever find anything good?
Yeah, once in a while. But those are a lot of work. I mean, they're a ton of work. If anybody's going to leave that much stuff, 2/3 of it, 3/4 of it's going to be trash, and so it is a ton of work.
Yeah, it's like buying storage units.
Yeah. Well, it's like buying storage units that the storage unit people have piled all the crap into one unit. That's what it's more like.
Yeah. Well, see, they have to declare in North Carolina now if it's
Modified.
yeah.
Morning,
See, by North Carolina state law, they're not supposed to look. They're not supposed to go in any further than the door to take pictures. They're not supposed to mess with boxes. They're not supposed to do it anything.
Right.
Because until the buyer pays, they pay. You know, they buy it at auction and whatnot. Until they pay, it's still the previous owner's merchandise because they can pay up to. They can have an auction online, and the owner of the bin show up before the person online pays for it.
Yeah.
And they can reclaim it.
Yeah.
So that's the reason they say that nobody can go. They're supposed to go inside the booth.
Yeah.
Which shows some of the crappy ass photographs that they have in them.
What are you talking about, Julie? A blue dress? I missed the reference, Julie. I don't know what you're talking a blue dress for.
Staging. That's it, Mary. Thank you. I just saw the message up at the top.
Yeah, buying the books to make a place look homey when you go.
Yeah.
Go see an open house or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Because there's a realtor down in York County. He would throw.
Lag has a blue dress and Mike has a blue dress.
If this room is decorated as a boys' room, a little boys' room, because it's got baseball gloves and stuff like that around it, they'll throw not dirty clothes, but they'll throw clothes on the floor, like a little boy would, to make it look like somebody actually lives there.
Right.
Julia, you want to become? When I think of blue dresses, all I can think of is Blue Dress Bill.
I think of that song, Devil with the blue dress, blue dress, blue dress, devil with the blue dress on. Oh, you need a wrench. Oh, okay, I'll get you a wrench there, Julie. Why did you call it a dress? It's a wrench. Wrench. Okay, there you go, Julie. You're wrenched up. Mary needs a wrench too.
I'm getting ready to take off a bunch. Lag's getting ready to lose his wrench. Scott's getting ready to lose his wrench.
Oh yeah.
Because you can't mute them if they've got a wrench. Even if I'm the owner, I cannot mute them because they're a moderator.
If you put them in standard moderator, you can mute them all you want.
I've tried it and it wouldn't let me. Or at least that's the way it is on. Anyway, it wouldn't let me.
Beard did a show yesterday, didn't he?
Yeah, he did one yesterday morning.
What are you talking about, Lag?
No. Wednesday morning.
Yeah, Wednesday morning.
Yeah, because he was supposed to go have his root canal done yesterday.
Yep.
Bearded picker.
He probably got a swollen face.
That's what I wanted to see him so we can make fun of him. I bet you won't talk shit to Joni anymore, will you? Oh, Lord. Yeah, Wednesday morning he did. Yesterday he did, because I did one. Oh, yeah, the power. See, Anissa is a power moderator on my channel because she don't put up with no crap from nobody. So I have to keep her under control. Hey, Doug. Good morning. Todd?
Yes.
Okay, I thought we were having dadgum internet problems again because it got so quiet. You working from home again this morning?
Yes, I am.
I'm talking to Major Wynn, to Doug. He's in the chat.
Good old Doug. Boy, eBay's been a roller coaster. Thursday I sold $600, and yesterday I sold $100.
You mean Wednesday you sold 600 because yesterday was Thursday.
Whatever, you know what I meant.
I know what you mean.
Yep. So, God, I mean, it's like you think you develop some consistency. I mean, you'll rock along for maybe a week or two, and everything's pretty steady, and then, bam, you get a big day, or bam, you get a crap day. And I've got, I got 1,600 listings. You would think it would just be super steady, but it's not. It's not. It's not bad, but it's not.
Do you have make an offer on all your listings?
Most of them, yeah.
To me, that looks like that would if the price is not price is not really what somebody wants to pay. I mean, how much effort is it to click on the make an offer and throw what you think you're willing to pay on it? But I guess people are not interested in that because it takes too much work, or maybe they're not paying attention and they don't see it, or they don't get past where, just a list of all the different items for sale.
Yeah, Julie missed it. I went to the Lutherans yesterday, and I got mostly boots and shoes.
The cat's away with her girlfriend, so the mouse was playing at the with the Lutheran old ladies yesterday.
One of the pairs of shoes I bought yesterday I already sold.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think you priced them too low, or do you think it just...
I don't know. It's a pair of Under Armour shoes. Bought them yesterday for $8, and they sold for $25 yesterday. It's a good profit. I don't know. Why doesn't stuff do that more often, dadgummit?
That's right, dadgummit.
Yeah, I spent $70 yesterday at the Lutherans, and I made like between $300 and $400 worth of listings off of it. So just doing my thing. Buy and list.
This is my opinion. I think people are just not shopping. If there's something they need, they go get it. I just don't think they're shopping. I went into Walmart a couple of days ago, and there was very few people in there. And this was like in the middle of the afternoon.
Like they're already packed with a label on them.
You just need to pay for them. Just because you call him uncle doesn't mean that he's going to give it to you for free.
Let's just look at these new listings I did. Y'all tell me if you would buy this stuff or not. I know that Lag wouldn't, but... We'll just... Am I wasting my time here? Would you buy I bought these for 25 cents a piece yesterday. Would you buy that and make a listing? Got 3 pictures. Some ink pen refills.
Are those refills?
Yes. Are your eyeballs not working?
Well, I thought they were the actual pens.
Nope, they're refills.
What do they?
Okay, Lag wouldn't buy those. How about Rolodex refills?
If you still use a Rolodex, they would, because there's a lot of people that still use Rolodexes. But I'm also
I bought these for 25 cents a pack and listed them yesterday.
A lot of people use the printer sheets.
Okay, then.
No, because that looks like you're required to do a lot of walking. I don't care what we do as long as I don't have to walk.
Hiking boots.
They're nice looking boots, though. They look clean.
Yeah, because I cleaned them.
You're so good.
Some Nike slides.
How much were those new? Have you looked?
I don't know.
Damn.
I just comped out used ones and made my listing accordingly.
Right.
I didn't look up new ones. Who's got time for that? Bought some
I'm sitting here trying to create a new tab, and I'm looking at your. I'm looking at your screen.
I'm trying to create a new tab on my screen.
Yeah, and I was like, "Why is this not working?" I was freaking out. I guess I need to get over here to my.
Got a pair of Justin boots for.
Oh, those are nice looking. Square toed.
These are $10. I'm asking 55. Who else would buy Justin boots for $10?
What about stop? Those soles on them. Those are kind of like not very cowboyish looking.
Well, they're kind of a combination work boot because they got the oil resistant, slip resistant soles on them. You know.
Right.
Some people wear cowboy boots to work.
Yeah, my brother lives in his cowboy boots.
So right there you can see oil resisting.
Okay.
Which makes them good to work in like a mechanic would want.
How big a heel do those things have up on?
I don't know. They're not real high.
Okay.
So Lutherans had those for 10 and I list them for 55. Got a pair of Ariat boots, Ariat.
Those look like the kind my dad always wore with the brown uppers on them, whatever they call this part.
Kind of a two-tone. They got kind of a weird stain on them right there.
Yeah.
But a new pair of Ariat boots. Would y'all buy those? The boots are the best buy. Well, yeah, that's.
I would because you bought them.
Already got an offer on these for 35. I was like, no.
How much you got in those?
I think I gave $8 for these. Double H boots. And they're oil resistant.
Right. Those don't look like they've been worn, or did you clean them up really good?
I cleaned them a little bit, but yeah, they've been worn.
The soles look really, the bottoms of the shoes look really clean.
Well, you can see with the inconsistent color, a brand new pair would be pretty much all the same color.
Right.
I do put I get a rag out and I wipe it wipe it with conditioning oil or leather. I always keep a can of leather conditioner around.
Let's see.
Just wipe them down a little bit, take pictures.
Like says you need to niche down the cowboy boots. How many pair of cowboy boots you got listed altogether on your store?
They don't last very long. I don't have very many pairs of cowboy boots listed at any given time. I sell probably 100 pairs a year, but they don't last very long on my site.
Well, here's a question for the chat. Should Todd create a new store, a small store just for cowboy boots? The Cowboy Boy.
But the problem is, I buy every nice pair of cowboy boots I can find, but I don't always find cowboy boots. If all I sold was cowboy boots, I wouldn't make as much money as I do because. So anyway, there's one pair of shoes I haven't, one pair of flip flops I haven't listed yet.
Right.
But everything else I got from the Lutherans is already listed. So this pair of Skechers flip flops.
Right.
So I stuck them in the sink and rinsed them off good, and here we go. Get them sold. Skechers Lux Foam.
Ping says, I hate when people send an offer that's 50% off the asking price. They're probably hoping that the person needs to make their power bill or their rent, their cell phone bill, and they'll take it.
I don't know why people do that. I countered with $60, so that's a pretty good discount, but yeah, I don't always get I don't like. I guess I need to do an even better job of sourcing because I like selling cowboy boots. I don't, if I could find a place that I could source them from, like Tommy Bernard, I don't know who his supplier is, but he's always got $60, $70, $80 sneakers to sell. Just piles of them. You remember back a year or two ago when he'd put up a video and show his piles of or put an Instagram picture up of he would have big, yard cleanup bags full of $70 sneakers. Like, God, where is he getting that? He's got a better source than I do. People are talking about all the great new stuff coming out, like AI and stuff. I said the word, sorry. I said the letters. But, man, if I could find a major win, they've got a good source. They must have good sources too, because they got so much stuff they're having to enlist help to get it all listed.
Okay, mute lag for 3 minutes. Put him in timeout. Stick him in a corner.
Something is off on eBay this morning. We have a ton of send offers, but none of them have any watchers.
Yeah, I've had that too. Major win, Doug.
I got a lot of send offers that don't have any watchers.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
Now there'll be people that a bunch of them will have views, but not but not watchers. I think people all offer low when they sold it somewhere else. Can't find it. Yeah.
But you deal majority of clothes, correct, Doug? Aren't y'all really huge clothes sellers?
I have sold a lot of stuff that I know that they're reselling it somewhere. I bet 80% of the printer, ink, and toner that I get to sell is going to somebody who's reselling it somehow.
God, that's a lot of clothes.
What is?
Doug says about 80% clothing.
Where did he say that?
Down at the bottom. Because I asked him about how many are they a majority clothes sellers. At the very bottom. Major Win at Tom, about 80% clothing.
Oh. We have relationships with the states. So, Doug Rowe, whoever I'm talking to, do y'all buy every time you get a call? Because if you don't, then they may not call you back, right? So these are like sponsor shoes. Like if you could get in with like an NBA team, and you know those players, they don't wear a pair of shoes more than 2 games. Maybe not even that. They may just put on a new pair of shoes every time they step in the gym. It'd be great to get in with like an NBA team and just say, "Hey, I'll buy all the shoes that the players don't want anymore."
When I was my high school class is having its 50th anniversary next year. So there's been talk about getting together to do, something little because there's not many of us left. One of the guys I was talking to, which I've mentioned this before, but I hadn't talked to him in quite a while. His son, when his son was in high school, he played tennis and he was very good. And so good that he was getting that Reeboks was sending him like they'd come home and there'd be a box of tennis shoes in his size sitting on the front doorstep, and they would be the correct size, and he would wear them like each pair once or maybe twice, and then his younger brother's foot would grow to the size that he could wear them, so they wore them. But my friend Paul, he said if they had kept all those shoes, because they would, once their younger son outgrew them, they would give them to cousins and, friends that could wear them. And
okay, so Doug, how much of that do you just throw away? Because you said your average listings were like 20, or your minimum listings were like 25. You have to redonate or throw away a bunch, I bet. If you're just going to buy everything that's left.
Do they give you a really good deal?
He said at the end of an estate sale, he gives like $50 to $100.
Okay, I was reading back
Or
through the chat.
or if it's better stuff, they offer 10% of value, which is still good profit. But I don't know if it was that easy for me to get, if all I sold was $25 clothes, I would probably do better selling than I do now. Because you could improve your processes and get real fast at listing that type of stuff.
Right. When you go out to yard sales and that type of stuff, do you usually see cowboy boots for being for sale?
I'm sorry, what? I was
That's it.
reading the.
Okay. You seem to have really good luck with cowboy boots. Do you see a lot of cowboy boots when you're out yard selling?
Yeah, quite a bit. Yeah, cowboy boots, if they're in okay shape, are usually like $5 to $10 at a yard sale.
And the cowboy boots that you've been selling them, are they going all over the country, or are they just going to Texas or New Mexico, or?
Yeah, that offer I got was from New York State. So
New
yeah,
York State.
they go all over the place. A lot of them go. A lot of cowboy boots go from Texas north in the central part of the country.
Right.
Like a lot of them go to North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming,
Right.
Minnesota, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas.
There is a guy on YouTube that pops up in my play every once in a while. I couldn't even tell you his channel name. And he's an old guy, like older than Todd. But
geez, that's old.
his career was he worked in a shoe shop and he resold shoes and things like that. And he's got the equipment, and he did videos about, this is a $500 pair of boots that just needs to be resold, and it costs him $10 in materials to resole it. And
Okay.
and then he cleans them up and he resells them, but he buys them cheap because they've got, the soles have got almost a hole in it. The heels are whopper jawed because they didn't walk flat footed; they walk kind of slanted. And
well, so he's more in the repair business than he is.
Well, he turns around and resells them on eBay.
He's not as much of a reseller as he is a
Right.
boot and shoe sales person.
Well, he's refurbishing them, I guess you would say. He's a refurbisher. My point was, though, is he's buying these expensive shoes and boots, dress shoes, not tennis shoes, that type of stuff, and refurbishes them and sells them basically at almost like new prices. Because my dad used to do that to his cowboy boots. He would have them resold because he lived in his boots. The only time he wore like tennis shoes was when he was getting on his boat or something like that, because he wore dress shoes to church. That was in the day. That was because he was always Sunday morning was a suit and tie kind of guy to church.
Thank you, Doug. But yeah, a lot of lot of people will just they'll maybe own 2 pair of boots, and that's all they wear all the time, you know. So they're not afraid to pay $300 for a pair of boots
Yeah.
because they're gonna get the good out of them, as opposed to if you bought a pair of sneakers, you wear those every day. They're only going to last you 6 months. A good
Probably.
pair of boots will last you 2 or 3 years.
When I was a chap during the summer, we never wore shoes unless we were going to town or we were going to church. The soles of my feet were the soles of my shoes. We went barefooted. Yeah, you're right, Major Win.
You must not have lived in Texas because everything will poke you or stick you through your foot in Texas.
Well, the only place we didn't go barefooted was at my grandmother's house. She was out in the country, and they would have I forgot what they're called, the little balls with the sticky sand spurs. Sand spurs were everywhere, so we never went barefooted down there. Cool, American Honey. American Honey, you should have been buying all that paint, all that shoe polish that Scott was selling on his Whatnot show, because he had all kinds of polish.
He did?
Yeah.
I missed that one.
He had the little cans, and he had the roll-on.
Huh. Yeah. Yeah, all kinds of stuff. Those little
That's right.
burrs and stickers.
Yeah.
There's tons of stuff that'll just get you in Texas.
That's right. It's only going on 7 o'clock out at your homestead, Doug. I forget about that. Ping. I need to send Ping an award from the Queen City Pickle Show, because she's just about there all the time, and it's 6 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, she'll make it up. She'll take 3 naps today.
Yeah, but still.
She said that before. I take 2 or 3 naps every day. Okay. I love Pink. She's funny.
She is. Doug, do you deal with people like on the East Coast?
There's been more than once she's fallen asleep while she was on my show. She's great.
Yeah, she is. And I appreciate it, Ping. Sally, because Sally, she always worked third shift. So,
yeah, Sally would fall asleep all the time.
I know. And all of a sudden, her head would go down like this, and you'd hear her kind of snoring. Valerie would say, "Sally, go to bed."
Sally, are you asleep? No. Yeah, you were.
And I am not making fun of Sally, because she was working third shift.
Yeah, she would work 8 or 9 hours and then do some reselling, and she'd just be sitting there falling asleep.
I had a neighbor. That she worked third shift, and you never let her drive any place. Somebody else always drove, because she would stop at a stoplight and go to sleep. So she'd say, "I'll drive." No, we'll go. If we needed her big car, then somebody else would drive her big car, but no, she didn't drive. What did Lex? Yeah. for my day job and for eBay. Well, I was talking about for your day job.
I don't think I've ever seen Paul fall asleep. He probably would, though. That guy doesn't have an off button. He's going all the time.
Yeah. Because Doug, Roberta's like most of her peeps are out in Denver, and they'll have a 4:00 meeting, their time, which is 6:00 our time, and she's like, I won't be participating. Unless it's a really mandatory figure out a problem issue. But those corporate meetings are like this morning shows. Usually it's a bunch of nothing.
Bless you.
Todd said, bless you. She said, thank you. Dang, this has got a good mic on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I bet so, Doug. Anyway, what all you got on your agenda for the weekend, Todd?
Oh, just same old, same old. I got stuff I got to do.
Right. Well, at least you don't have to clean up the house before the wife comes home because your sister-in-law's there. Where's Daphne at this morning? I hadn't heard her.
They got up early when I got up, and so they're already crashed again.
Her and the dog?
Yeah, they both found a soft spot to lay down.
You won't be taking a nap till after 3 p.m.? Why is that, Ping?
She got stuff on Fridays. Is Friday one of her regular meeting dates? I got a date with the weed whip. God, I got a lot of yard work I should do too.
Last Sunday, I jumped out and cut our front yard because our backyard didn't need to be cut. I jumped out and cut it between rainstorms. It's supposed to be 95 degrees here on Tuesday.
Okay. It's summertime.
Not 95 degrees. June
Actually, tomorrow is the first official day of summer, right? Summer solstice is tomorrow.
June in North Carolina is not supposed to be 95 degrees.
Really?
No. 95 degrees don't usually, the upper 90s and very low hundreds doesn't hit till like the end of July and August. So if we're having 95 degrees temperatures in June, are we going to have?
We're supposed to be 94 today.
18 degrees this winter.
94 today, which is still better than the 100 degrees it's going to be in July and August.
What?
9-foot sickle.
She was talking to some other stupid people. Not me, for once. The senior club. The senior club.
We're pushing on toward 4th of July, aren't we?
Yeah.
All the fireworks stands will be opening up around the countrysides.
See, ours stay up all year round in South Carolina. Because North Carolina, they very limited on what they can sell in North Carolina.
Because there are a bunch of uppity leftists up there.
Yeah. Cashy. Stay cool. Yeah, North Carolina won't let you sell the good stuff because of the children. When I was about 10 years old, I had a firecracker go off in my hand. I learned to pay freaking attention after that. I still have all my digits, but it did sting.
Oh God, I love black cats. You know, I'd stand there, I'd light them and throw them.
M80s, cherry bombs, them babies would do some damage. But now the babies are, you got to protect the babies. My older brother, who is 5 years older than I am, he would light them and throw them at me, throw them at my feet. Dance, white boy, dance.
We used to. I used to be able to drive down the street and shoot bottle rockets out the window of my car.
No, my dad would put we could get away with pretty much anything when it came to fireworks, but bottle rockets, he always wanted to be in a stationary place shooting up in the air. He was real serious about that. We'd go in and get a cigarette from him. Did y'all do that? Go get a cigarette from your parents to light firecrackers with?
We always had those punks.
Yeah, well, we'd run out of those. So we'd go get a cigarette from dad or mom. But now, because you just couldn't buy, I don't know. My dad carried a Zippo lighter. I guess, I don't know. Did they have disposable ones back in that time period? But anyway, we'd go get a cigarette. You know, I'm surprised we all didn't smoke because we, getting it to flame back up so you could light firecrackers with it. But also, that was the era where a 10-year-old would go to a store and buy a pack of cigarettes for their dad.
That's back when cigarettes were 50 cents a pack, too.
Yeah.
Bro.
Be cheaper now to go buy a lighter to light fireworks with than.
Oh, heck yeah. You could buy 10 lighters for well, maybe not 10. You could probably buy 3 lighters for the price of a pack of cigarettes now.
Yeah. Texas Bandit, I thought you were retired.
He's a farmer. You can never retire as a farmer. If you retire as a farmer, you're just going to go out and die. They don't get to retire.
What kind of tractor you got, Texas? You got one of the big boys? You got something like a 3850. And the only reason I know that is because I have one on my farm inside my game.
Bye, Doug. Have a good one.
Yeah, you'll have a great one, too.
We'll see you.
Yeah, it's after 10 o'clock.
See you later.
And I'm just rambling this morning. I don't really have anything to talk about. So anyway, I don't know whether Scott will have a show tonight. Have a most excellent day, Doug. Oh, you have Kubutas, and a McCormick.
Kubota.
40 horsepower. What do you do with a 40 horsepower lawnmower? I mean, tractor.
Well, apparently they can cut hay with it.
Yeah. Yeah. And in my game, I have a baler that you can run a 50 horsepower tractor with it. And being that all the equipment in the game is supposed to be based on actual manufactured products, so I'm assuming that's correct. Well, that's good. Flip it. You know, I have enough problem feeding up around here. The 3 cats. I tell Roberta I got to go feed the herd. You know, that type of thing.
Lag none it off.
I'm awake again. Yeah, you're such an ass. John Deere. All right. Todrick, I got to go. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, let's shut this show down.
Look for Scott tonight. I don't know whether he's going to feel up to it or not.
Yeah,
And
John flipping ain't easy. He'll be on at 5 Central.
all righty.
So I'll watch him. So yeah, have a good weekend. Get all those sales.
And learn AI. Kids is taking your job.
Oh God, you had to end the show on AI.
I had to get it in there once. You already had your turn. I had to get my turn in.
That's sorry.
And all right, guys. Have a great one. Bye, Todd. Thanks.
Bye. All right. Yeah, rub it in, lag. All right. And in stream.